I want to talk about when you're driving in congestion. Let's say it's rush hour, peak rush hour, and there's lots of traffic in front of you. When you're coming up towards an intersection, what most drivers tend to do is follow bumper to bumper. And instead, when you're coming up towards the intersection, you should try to stretch out this following distance so that if the car in front of you gets stuck on the other side of the intersection, you're not stuck in the middle of the intersection going, well, there was nothing I could have done. Because there was. They could have stopped before this line here. So, for example, here, this is the perfect example of what I mean by this. We're coming back here. You can see this truck here has realized, hey, the car in front of them is stuck on the other side or in the intersection, so it's best that I don't enter. But they probably realized that because that vehicle was already stuck and stopped in the intersection. But it's more, it requires more awareness to try to figure out the car that's rolling in front of me, will they be able to make it and stop on the other side? For example, this vehicle here, they have no idea what's going on at this intersection because they're so close to the car in front of them, following bumper to bumper. And so what happens? The car in front of them goes into the intersection, ends up having to stop right at the end. And in fact, they're still sticking out into the crosswalk there. And then they realize, oh, there's not enough room. And they come into this lane. So they're trying to clear the intersection, which is the correct idea, except for the fact that if we weren't paying attention and we were coming into the intersection as well, then there would have been no room for them to clear the intersection, right? So the only reason they got lucky was because we were paying attention and we realized, hey, we should stretch out like an accordion, leave more room here in case this vehicle gets stuck on the other side, and only follow through with the traffic if there is enough space up ahead. So we can see this vehicle is stuck in the intersection and they're blocking the intersection. So what do they do now? They back up at an intersection and then they try to get out of the way. So not really clever, and it's totally preventable. And then more, I guess, interestingly is that this vehicle on the left should have been, they were a spectator to all this. So they should be thinking, is there enough room for me to be making this turn? Or am I better off just waiting at that stop line until there is enough room for me to come into the intersection and to clear the intersection? So long story short, you should always enter the intersection if you know you can clear it. If you can't clear it because of congestion, then you shouldn't be coming into the intersection at all.